Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing another sort of like analysis slash breakdown video of one of the Udyr games that I recently played. So, as usual, I'm running Phase Rush and I believe uh, Precision Secondary. So yeah, we'll just I'll pull up the, oh right, yeah, there we go. Unpause the game. So, as usual, we load in and I do my normal chilling smite potion war. I'm just gonna speed things up. So so we actually invaded this game. So I started Q, which is normal, but I didn't think we'd be invading. E would be better because if we land a hook, then we can sort of just like I can just run up and stun them, which is really great. Other than that, we don't have a lot of chain CC, so it's not a big deal. I'm actually gonna just a second. So we do see Janna there, which kind of gives away our invade, unfortunately. Some supports do like to invade along here once they come in because they can catch people off. I'm just gonna turn Fog of War to just blue side, so we get only my perspective. So they see us, and at this point, I don't want to go in because like they saw us. I get my ward down. I check. Do I have enough time to recall? And I sort of figure that I don't. So we don't get our sweeper, but we do get a ward on a blue buff. Now that is pretty good, but we also already sort of know that Evelyn is going to look to start at her raptors, and then just like she's going to do a red side clear, maybe look for a gank, and then just go do a blue side clear. So I start with my Q. I have like the full stacks on the Q, so that I auto at once, get the Tiger to apply, and then I Q again to get the attack speed, and then to reapply the Tiger dot. So we're just going to farm. Now, we know that Evelyn started top side, so I can just farm up my bot side, and she could try to invade my blue side, and I was actually thinking quite a lot this game about like playing against an Udyr. If you know Udyr starts a certain side, why not just like you do your buff and then just take like his other buff and then like one more camp? Like you definitely should have time because he's just going for a full clear. Like Udyr base, like that's just what you want to do. You want a full clear and you want to just get like good reset timers. So we farming, we put a second point into our Phoenix. We're gonna keep farming, keeping our monkey stance, and we just keep rotating through. And at this point, we want to look for the scuttle. So we are going to clear this with just enough time that we can go into scuttle, because scuttle spawns now, and we just cleared it. So obviously we should have priority over this scuttle because Evelyn started topside. So of course bear stance first. Now Nocturne's missing, so I kind of like, are they going for me? Rumble comes to secure this. That's good. Now, we don't think that he warded. I'm just going to pause it here. So, at this point, the wave is pushing in, but Nocturne's a melee champ, so if he wants any CS, he has to sort of go in. So I'm sort of looking to go in. Now, that's not happening. He goes in for some poke. I check the camp just to see if that spawns. Now, because Evelyn was bot side, I sort of know that she already took this. So that's also why I'm checking here, and I'm not trying to go for a double scuttle, but I am pinging that I can look top here. So I just to keep my monkey stacks, I go into Tiger. Now the wave is pushing towards our side, so this is really good. I have flash. They're low. That's a nice engage. He's really close, so he's really close to getting his stun off. Now he actually gets the stun off as she flashes here, and then I don't even help out. And what's funny is sometimes like laners can just all in for a kill, but they don't want to because their jungler isn't nearby. So then I kind of just like, because Udyr's a troll champ, I just kind of stand still. I'm like, okay, I didn't do anything. Now I saw that the raptors spawned, so I'm like, maybe these are up. Nope, not yet. So first I check down here to make sure that I'm not going to be seen by anyone. And then we're gonna go back, and we know that these are up, so I'm like, I doubt Eve is nearby. I don't think we saw her on the map anywhere. Oops. So we take those away. Now I see the timer that her Krugs are spawning, but I also know that since she's probably bottom side, I want to make sure that I'm not seeing mid there. I want to go prevent her from getting my Krugs and then also getting my Raptors. So I immediately go to Raptors, and then I'm assuming Krugs are gone this rotation, even though as we can see from spectator they're not. So we do another clear up, and now we can actually go in and try to save our volley bear. So we slap them both and we run. Now I'm sort of moving in just to sort of bait Eve and provide a little bit of time for my mid laner to do something. Now I'm in a really bad spot because they could just turn on me if I were to go in, so I just recall. I know I'm giving up my Gromp here, and we actually see Evelyn on my Gromp, but that's okay. And then she actually, I think, ended up warding it at the very end there. So we get our Bammy Cinder and our boots, which is nice. We're up in CS. We are just a little bit under in gold, but we're up in CS. How about XP? We are up in XP too, as you can see here. And I see an opportunity. Thresh is really gankable. He has great setup, so I'm like, yeah, I can just come gank this. Run in, I slap, and a beautiful slap into hook. Now, I also go for the stun on Janna. Just maybe we can chase her down too as well, but we don't need to. Now, this is a great time to do Dragon because we just killed their bot laner. Now, I mainly pop that for my bot lane, hoping that they'll take it when they come. Rumble's doing a great job sort of playing around me. This game I was checking to make sure that they're not making any plays on me, which is nice. Bot lane didn't come and they didn't actually get the fruit. Now this, I immediately just run to Rumble. Rumble runs to me just in case he was trying to pick off one of us. And other than that, I then just go back to farming my jungle. Now, unfortunately, Volibear dies there, but that's just not too bad. Like, we got Dragon, and now I actually see that my Krugs weren't taken because they're not, they're still like level 4 or whatever they are. So we're just trying to clear this. Now, my Thresh is saying, like, that he wants to go invade. Like, he's, like, all those pings there on the map. Like, they want to go invade that blue. Now, I was pretty sure that blue wasn't up yet because I just took my red and my blue isn't up, and Evelyn started red. So they got a ward on the wolves. The wolves are gone. So now I'm like, okay, well, this Thresh can really enable me as Udyr. So I go with him. Now he lanterns me in. Great follow up because I can, like, if he gets into melee range, I can just bear slap them. Free stun, free CC, free damage. So now I immediately run over here, get the Scuttle Crab. That's up, and I think I actually cheese Herald. Yes. So at this point, like, we killed mid and bot lane's pushed up. So I'm just like, yeah, like, Evelyn started top side, so she should have already taken her red and she should be bottom side right now. And with, like, without having a mid laner, definitely, like, shouldn't contest that. So we picked this up. Now, funny enough, she actually was top side and she ganked top. But we now have Herald. We took it on spawn. It took us, I think, like 30 seconds or whatever to take, so that's not amazing. So it looks like they just pinged me, so they actually see where I am right now. But we're just gonna sequence down. So Udyr, on Udyr, you really want to just keep farming, and we are up in CS, which is nice. We saw Nocturne briefly there going bottom, but we had a ward there to stop him. Now my bot lane here is actually super deep in their jungle. They get an amazing pick, and then they can actually transition that into a double kill. Kaisa does have to flash, but well, now I was pretty sure if Nocturne's ulting, he's going for my bot lane here, so of course I ran. And since Evelyn's there, we're kind of just like, oh well. Now they're still kind of playing up here, so like yeah, bear slap into chase. Like we killed their bot lane, so we should be able to get that. I'm chasing after this Evelyn. She ults away. That's pretty good. I can heal a bit and I can steal the blue buff. That is great. Stealing blue buff from Evelyn, really amazing. And this like it's basically all from this Thresh. Like this Thresh is just enabling me. Now here I thought Thresh had Lantern, but I didn't notice his HP, so I'm just running. He prepares to hit it and he gets it. Perfect timing. I run out of there. I am just like, wow, I cannot believe I survived there. That would not have been very good. So here, I finally have my my chem tank, so I can really just start running people down. In terms of gold, we're up about 200 gold on the Evelyn. Same kill participation. And we are actually, I believe, the same level. Yeah, we're the same level. I'm still ahead in XP. But at this point, I sort of know that I sort of outvalue Evelyn because my team has a lot of follow-up for my bear stance. Now we have, so right here you can see I'm pinging on in the chat onto Dragon. Again, like bear stance. Now we can't chase that, a little unfortunate, but I still want to make sure that mid's pushing because Dragon's spawning really soon. Now we see Evelyn top, so we can actually pressure up here to go for some tower damage. Now I'd like to get the tower really low so I could herald it, but unfortunately there's not a big enough wave. But we still need to keep mid pushed because we want to be able to rotate for Dragon, although I don't want to have to like take all the CS. Like I want to leave the cannon. Now since Dragon's spawning, I can just pop Herald mid and we'll get plates for that, as well as it just opens us up to go for this Dragon, because if they contest us, then it's probably gonna take it. Now we're kind of just chilling, like the Nocturne ult's going off. I'm like, that's probably not on us. It wouldn't really make sense, so it was on mid. I mistimed my smite because I thought Kais's passive was gonna pop, but I guess I couldn't see one of the stacks, so I was one stack too late. But now I just want to clear mid. I could try and run down this a Nocturne, but I don't really need to. Bot lane's recalling and my red's up, so I'm like, okay, I'll just, you know, go clear my red side jungle. Then Evelyn dives top, gets another kill. Now that's okay. Like having Evelyn focus on top side isn't that big of a deal, because if you look at the scoreboard here, our Kais is doing really well. Their bot lane's their bot lane and mid lane are pretty much out of the game. And here I see an opportunity to just run down this MF because she was splitting alone. So I'm like, okay, she's probably somewhere here. Now I pop Phoenix, and then we spotted her, so I just kind of ran in. Fortunately, well, we blew heal, so honestly, that's a win. But I saw her recalling, so I was able to stop the recall with Chilling Smite, which is nice, because Red Smite, you can't do that, but Blue Smite, I was able to get it off. Now we can just push this. Evelyn shows, and I'm kind of like, I don't really want to fight it. Like, we don't have to fight. Like, we're sort of playing for. I'm like, I'd prefer to play for like team fights, and when we have numbers advantage. So we get eyes on Evelyn now. We have Thresh here, so we can really start making some work happen. Evelyn makes a beautiful ward to sort of catch us, but unfortunately, Janna gets caught out. We just go in for a dive here. It was a nice ult from Rumble. Over here, it crossed out her like entire path in the bush, and then we just ran her down. But we're really far ahead. We're up 3,000 gold now. Here, I get my stuns off, and then I just run. I'm like, nah, like Rumble's dead. We don't actually want to fight that because there's Janna who respawned. Now I can just go mid, sort of just run at them. You don't always have to like fully commit, but just to be able to get some like damage off. So again, like fully commit to that. Like, we try, but if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Now I really want to get my blue buff, because then I can start just spamming stances. So we have mid priority, and top lane's doing well. Top lane's getting her to fight, so I'm like, okay, like, sure. Now, this could have been a mistake going around, but at the same time, it's a big wave, and I don't think we want to really dive that. So we push it out, and then we can actually go for this Rift Herald. Do want to secure a second Rift Herald, because that can be really, really valuable. Now, we had Vision on Nocturne Recalling, so we make a really easy pick. Now, unfortunately, my stun does get blocked by the Spell Shield, but that's kind of whatever. My team wants to go dive top. I kind of want Rift Herald. Rift Herald helps us take towers, whereas diving top, like, you know, like, maybe we get a kill. I just prefer, and like, on top of that, like, taking Rift Herald means that they can't take Rift Herald, and then that means that they can't take one of our towers, which keeps the map closed off for them. So they do get the kill, which is nice, and we do get Herald. I thought I picked it up, but had to go back for it. Now I think I just YOLO Herald here, because like, they're diving and the turret is like half HP, so like, it'll take it, and then I'm hoping it'll push it in, but also dragon spawning. So I'm like, okay, I pop it here. They have to send people there to defend the push, and then I can just run to dragon. Now they see me here, so I'm like, okay, may as well take this, and then I'm like, well, if they're just gonna like chill top, I might be able to, so like, we just took top tower, but maybe I'd also be able to take mid, but Janna shows, so it's all good. We just go to dragon. Don't have to clear that ward, because that just sort of wastes time. It's about to die anyways. So we just get to start doing this herald, and we see Evelynn top, so we're like, okay, or this is dragon. So this is dragon is just absolutely free for us. Now we can check here. I'm up pretty much like 500 gold, which is really nice. I'm up 1 level, so surprisingly, Evelynn does farm pretty fast. Excuse me. Now here I'm trying to get the scuttle, and I'm sort of just trying to keep around my Thresh, because this Thresh is playing really, really well. Again, like, we were like, okay, maybe we can go for the Camille, but no, we'll just go for that. Now we see MF just under tower for free, so we go in. They're pinging us back, and she did manage to actually back off, so that was good. They saw through our plan. Now we get that tower, which is nice. Now I see my bots at camps are up, but I also have quite a bit of gold. I'm sitting on 3,000 gold right now, so I really need to back. Like, I only have chem tanks, so I finish my my dead man's plate, and I opt to do that instead and not finish boots yet, because we do get. Oh, sorry, paused. I was a little. Oops, I might have meant to press O, not P. So we do get move speed from Deadman's, and we get more combat stats than boots, so we'll get boots later. Now we just double bear, volley bear, and Udyr just run in. And honestly, like playing this game, I was just like, wow, like, the bear strats, like volley bear top, Udyr jungle, like, actually works really well. Like, we can just run people down. Now, of course, if they have team comps where they can just dash away or like push us back, it's obviously not as good, because we can get kited. But and here I'm just checking for camps. Decide to push out the wave. So because pretty much and then we saw that at this spawn, so I may as well take it. Like, on their team, like MF, Janna, Eve, Nocturne, none of them have escapes. Here I'm on a ward, so briefly miss it, but managed to clear it. We see Evelynn's bot side again, so she's really just trying to farm. Now, she can't really go for any solo plays, and honestly, their team is really low CC, so us grouping is a really good idea. They almost pick off Evelynn, but again, we just want to sort of play around Thresh. We want to be able to chain CC, make some plays, get objectives. Here I'm pretty sure that we can do Baron. We put a pink on it, but we're also just trying to get a pick on this Nocturne, because he's way overextended. So I go in, slap him, I get feared. I tried to position in front of him, hoping I'd get feared in the opposite direction. And then Camille's below us, so we kind of just collapse on the Camille. I take the lantern in so I can get to the back line. And at this point, it's just like, well, like, we killed Camille. We're just straight up stronger than them. Like, we're so far ahead. We may as well just do this Baron. Now, what's also great here is Volibear decides to go over the wall to zone. Something that you definitely don't see in other ranks. And we see Evelyn go bottom, so essentially they're not contesting this. We just get this. Volibear can now just do whatever he wants. If he wants to run in, whatever. A little bit of a late smite on my part. We can get the crab. And I think I go for blue and then a recall. So at this point in the game, we have tons of items. I pick up a Sheen because it'll help us actually push towers. So because I know that with Baron we're going to be pushing towers, it's actually more effective to get a Sheen. That way we can just sort of always activate that. Also, this part here, I'm just running circles around Volibear because he was pinging me for how fast I was going. And of course we go in. Nocturne shows, so I kind of just want to run away. They just completely bypass me. I feel bad because Volibear is in there all on his own. We get a nice hook. I bear stance, but it's sort of just overlapping CC, doesn't really do much. This part I just run it. Like I'm like, yeah, I can go in. I don't know if I like misplayed or like miscalculated or something, but we don't manage to, or I end up dying. I didn't kill them as quick as we think. So I sort of inted there, and there sort of I was like, darn, like I didn't have to go for that, and like we don't end off that play, so that was definitely a greedy play on my part. It does, of course, help us get the towers and the last dragon, and it does prevent them from getting resources, but I fed quite a shutdown. Or actually, maybe it was only 150 as it shows down there. But anyways, I fed a shutdown, and I really didn't have to. And now with Cloud Soul, I'll go even faster. When I ult, and here I'm just testing it out, like over 600 movement speed. Crazy. And that's not even in like the cloud, like the wind areas. So very strong. So this is sort of how I like to play Udyr. Farm early and then just play around CC, play around Scuttle Crabs, play around like out farming and sort of just getting stronger than stronger around like than the enemy jungler. So we pick up another free kill, and at this point it's like, well, we win like 5v4, like Nocturne's bottom. We saw him recalling, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna YOLO run in. Like most like worst case, I run into 3 people. They don't really have CC. I just run out. So we can just play really aggressive. Here we can just really just push down mid. We see Nocturne still bottom, so yeah, with the TP it's 5-on-3. They really can't contest. We're so much farther ahead, and Kais is really fed. She's 9-0. Our Thresh is playing really amazing. He ults both towers, so we can just dive in, get the stun off, just back off. I get the stun off again. Nice. See, that is a really good hook. The Janinator really messed us up there, but we still got her in the end. And I'm just tanking the tower because it doesn't really matter, but the minions are here, so I sort of back off, and they just FF. So really, being able to get those early dragons really, really helped affect the state of the game, as well as getting the early Rift Herald really helped as well. So we did sort of get the lottery on getting this bot lane. This bot lane played well. The Volibear soaked pressure nicely, and then the Rumble played around me. So it was really great. On the other side, their bot lane is just not as strong, and if they fall behind, like Thresh will just walk all over them. Top lane, if Camille went Divine Sunder, she probably would have had an easier time against Volibear. We also managed to gank that a few times, and we did pressure mid, and mid ended up going for stride breaker, and like as soon as you like, and he went Sterix, like as soon as you opt out of going full like lethality assassin on Nocturne mid, you're basically just useless. So the gold graph for the game is pretty chill until here. So they killed bot lane, and then we got a kill on Nocturne, and then things definitely started to take off. Um, Usually, once you have about like a 2,000, 3,000 gold lead, that's when you're really ahead and you want to just sort of pop off. Most of the kills on the map were in the bot half because Thresh, around mid and around bottom because Thresh really enabled us. As far as stats go, Vision's score was pretty good. I only purchased one control word, so my Vision wasn't that great. And the graphs, like I didn't even do a whole lot of damage. I did just a little bit less than MF, which is nice, but as you can see, it definitely was a good team that I had. But like we farmed up and we got objectives, and that's one of the major things about farming up on a jungler is you want since you're stronger than the enemy jungler, you want to be able to go for those objectives. Um, Start stacking up those dragons, get those early Rift Heralds to get turret plating, as well as just to sort of pressure them. And on top of that, like when you're playing, and like because Evelyn doesn't really have CC, so she couldn't really be enabled by anyone on her team to really pop off and do damage. But when your team comp isn't that great and the enemy jungler is just starting to just take objectives across the map, like it definitely makes teams tilt. So there's also that mental factor in. But yeah, I'd highly recommend playing Udyr before the jungle nerfs come out because farming won't be as great. But at the same time, he still clears so quickly. It'll probably still be dominant next patch as well. As for the build, really standard build. The Sheen, I was thinking maybe I should be getting it earlier. But often you'll also see when I'm playing Udyr that I do get to that 3,000 gold point where I'm just staying out on the map trying to farm everything, move around everywhere, that I'm not always just backing for items. So in a way, when I do back, it's really efficient, but there's also long periods of time where I'm on the map and not making the most use out of my gold. But I'd highly recommend trying them out. Hope you guys are all staying safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.